Okay, well, welcome. Thank you for joining me during the day today. I'm really passionate about sharing this information. It was shared with me 23 years ago, almost 24 in September. And it really has taken our whole family on just such a better trek to health. Got a family in the background. And so anyway, so I'm excited to share it because if you think about it, we've only got one body and we need to take care of it, because what if it was just that, like, you would only get one car, right? You'd really be taking care of that one car if you needed it to last like the whole lifetime, right? Well, we have to make our body last all our lives. So, we might be a little hard on it sometimes with what we eat, what we drink, things like that. So this is just a reminder of some things that might just be common sense, but also just sharing with you what I've learned from a lot of healthcare professionals over the years. First of all, our health and goals may change depending on the stage of our lives. Like right now, I'm in the menopause stage, in my middle 50s. This picture was taken, a few years ago. And that was when I was still in the younger kid stage. So depending on where you're at in life, you might have different goals. But ultimately, we all, have at least 3 times a day that we might feed ourselves. So we've got to think about, what are we doing to keep ourselves healthy? So for our children, unfortunately, they are more at risk due to food than alcohol, tobacco, and drugs combined. According to Dr. David Katz, they will have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. So we need to be really aware of that and help children. Adults, I've seen a lot of people with autoimmune disorders. What if their immune systems could be stabilized instead of the B cells attacking their body and out of control? There's just so many more autoimmune disorders nowadays, and some of them used to be called different things, but now they're happening to people earlier in life. So they're not adult onset anymore. Sometimes children have these autoimmune disorders also. Then on the other hand, there's athletes. They might want to level up their health and performance, right? With good nutrition, with the right nutrition, the supplements, the tools that they can get the edge that they need. So what I'm going to share with you is going to help all those different things. And then, there's a statistic, just 40 pounds overweight, which a lot of people are, they are more at risk for cancer. I couldn't believe it when I read that many years ago. That was 80% higher risk of cancer with just 40 pounds overweight. More heart disease and diabetes risks. Everybody kind of knows that, by hundreds of percentages. And so, it's important to address that too. Women deserve to have better nutrition for their hormones so that they're not out of whack, and for their skin, they might be more concerned about that, right? And a lot of times they're the ones that care for other people. So it's good for them to know this information and level up their health. And then there's men who are very, very at risk for heart disease. They have a lot of stress, things like that. They also might have colon issues. You never know. So, we're all needing to level up our health in some way. And, every day we have that opportunity. And what habits we have will really kind of predict our health. Okay. And without our health, like if we had $100,000, but we weren't healthy and able to enjoy it, that would be no fun, right? So we've got to think about our health. It's something that we kind of take for granted a lot of times, but we have to put some things in place. So I'd love to, if you want to put into the chat some areas that you would like to improve or level up in your health, in your life. For me, I know I resist strength training. That's like, everybody's always like, Sharon, you need to strength train. That's something that I know there's like a birdie tapping on my shoulder I have to do. But I'm really resistant to that. And there might be other things that we want to do to level up our health. I'd love to hear that from you guys. So this is kind of like a little checklist. How are you taking care of you? How are you doing hydrating your body? Are you drinking plenty of water? Half our body weight in ounces is how much water we're supposed to drink. Are you sleeping enough? Sleeping helps to just rejuvenate your body. Some hormones come out to play if you have the proper sleep, stuff like that. It helps with less stress. It helps with everything. And then how are you de-stressing? Are you making sure that you're de-stressing so that you are not causing yourself more health problems with that? And how about exercising? Oh, there is strength training on here. Darn it. So exercising, we're supposed to do like 30 minutes a day. So how can we work that in? Even if it's 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon or evening. I read once 10 minutes of brisk walking will get you 2 more hours of energy. That's pretty enticing, right? Strength training is going to help us a bunch, right? To last longer. Our body, we want our bodies to last longer. Stretching is really good. Eating real food is really what we're going to talk about today the most, because you can make the most impact with that. And so we're going to talk about what eating real food is. I just want to encourage you to, we have lots of hobbies. Why not make health your hobby? As I got more and more into it and learned, I was like, oh my gosh, there's documentaries, there's all types of things to just keep you on the straight and narrow. Sometimes we start veering off into the canal, instead of being on the right track. And so watching those kinds of documentaries about health and just getting in a health community, things like that is really, really important. Sometimes people say, I don't have time to plan healthy meals or exercise or take care of myself. This Donna lady, who's a thermographer and sees lots of disease, unfortunately, she says you will find time once that happens to you, if something does happen. So we want to make the time to just have those habits. It's really all a matter of systems and habits of getting into. And so being healthy is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you make health your hobby, it will just continue to snowball. Okay, I think I talked about a lot of these things. And getting with people who are healthy preppers, like they prepare salad in a jar, which you'll see a little later. Different people you can hang around that will help you to be healthier. I thought this sign on the left was really funny. That's why I put it in here, because I play racquetball. And it says, enjoy thirst at work or play, drink Coca-Cola, delicious and refreshing. How many of us are exercising and then having a Coca-Cola? Not me. I want water when I'm exercising. But I used to drink Coca-Cola all the time. I didn't know what it was doing to my body. And so what I found out later was it was suppressing my immune system. The statistic is if you have one soda and one candy bar, you're actually suppressing your immune system for 6 hours. So we don't want to do that, because that's when things can come into play, right? Also, sugar feeds cancer cells. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am far from perfect, but we do have some exchanges that we do instead of having pure sugar or really processed sugar that is just so bad for you. And then when you do have sugar, though, it's good to have fiber at the same time, whether it's nuts or something with fiber, vegetables or seeds, so that you don't have that spike in your blood sugar level, So those are just a few things about sugar. This is a really take-home message. I want you guys to take in that picture on the right. What are you feeding your body? Are you feeding your body live foods? So what does live food do? Live food has live enzymes, and that's what keeps it alive. And that's what keeps us alive, live enzymes. So look at the watermelon. When it goes bad, it rots, right? When the processed food meal, we'll just say the hamburger and fries, that one doesn't rot. And you guys could do that experiment at home. Many of us in our community have done it. And so you want to just think about having food that's real food. Real food doesn't have a long label with lots of additives and preservatives that are meant for the food industry. You want to be your own advocate and say, oh, I'm going to mostly try to eat real food that doesn't have a long, long list of additives, and also usually is in the perimeter of the shopping center, around the outside. So if people are falling off a cliff, because we are seeing lots of heart disease, cancer, stroke, you name it, like not good things. I told you about children's health being at risk also. So if people are falling off a cliff and sustaining injuries, the problem could be dealt with by stationing ambulances at the bottom. Is that smart? or erecting a fence at the top. So a lot of times we put a lot of effort into positioning those ambulances and waiting until it's too late. But that's too little of an approach of erecting those fences. So we are all about erecting the fences of being on the prevention and wellness side and the daily habits instead of waiting. Okay. And one thing you need to know is that even if your mom, your sister, your aunt had a certain disease or disorder, and you think, well, I've got those genes, I'm pretty much doomed. The research says no, that the genes are turned off or on based on your lifestyle choices. And in this article, it says the food we eat interacts intimately with our genes and can increase or decrease our risk of chronic disease. So keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be that you are destined to have the same things as your parents. So that's why 75% is lifestyle and diet choices that will really predict what will happen later on as far as whether you have optimal health or not. So all these types of things are a factor, sedentary lifestyle, stress, eating, bad food or having enough water, having pollutants in the air, all those types of things, okay? So we want to get to the foundation of, well, what can I do that I know for sure is going to make a difference? Eating more fruits and vegetables, believe it or not. They took 150 doctors and those doctors researched 4,500 studies of what makes us healthy. And they found that the only common denominator was a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. So if anything, you want to spend a lot of time in the produce section. And Thomas Edison, I love this quote, says, the doctors of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. He even knew back then that it was really, really important for us to take control of our health with nutrition. And you may have seen some people, they're diagnosed with something and all of a sudden they start juicing, right? Or all of a sudden they go to Hippocrates Wellness where they're having all raw food and they're having wheatgrass, because food from the ground really does help heal the body. So keep that in mind. These are things that you just want to always remind yourself of. The USDA recommends that you fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables. And so every country has a certain amount of fruits and vegetables they recommend. Keep in mind that that's for minimum just to fight disease. That's not even for optimal health. So you want to eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible. The minimum is 7 in America for children and up to 13 for adults. 13 is for men who exercise. Now, servings are like a cup of leafy greens would be a serving, or a half cup of a dense apple would be a serving. So 7 to 13. How are you guys doing on your 7 to 13 today or yesterday? It's really hard, even as a stay-at-home vegetarian myself, to even want to eat that many fruits and vegetables or plan to eat it or eat it, right? Sometimes we throw them into smoothies, and I'll show you some different ways in which we can have more fruits and vegetables, but it really is difficult. The reason why we need so many is because a lot of the nutrients have been lost over time in the ground. But the other big reason is when you go to the store, you're not necessarily getting like vine ripened fruits and vegetables. You're getting fruits or vegetables that have been picked maybe even 2 weeks before. And then they sometimes irradiate them to make them look good. But they've been picked early, so they didn't get the nutrition that comes at the very end, which is really nice. So if you ever have a choice, go for vine ripened and all the different beautiful colors of the rainbow. Those all do different things in your body too. So one thing that's really good, and I always try to make sure everybody learns, is we all have something called oxidative stress going on in our bodies. And every day that we don't have enough fruits and vegetables, it's like standing in front of an X-ray machine. Would anybody sign up to stand in front of an X-ray machine today or every day? No. So we have a process in our body just from breathing. And then some things we do might actually make more oxidative stress, but just breathing alone, we have a certain amount of oxidative stress. We need to have the same amount of fruits and vegetables because that provides the antioxidants for those oxidants. And what happens is they neutralize those oxidants from hitting on your good cells 10,000 hits a day. And that could be your brain cells and your skin cells, but we're all getting that many hits a day from oxidants, and that's not good. That's why some people age faster and some people don't. It depends on how much they have of antioxidants to slow that aging process. Does that make sense to you guys? Have you guys seen some people who seem to age faster than they should, some people who seem to age slower? The other thing besides aging that oxidative stress does is it also is a culprit in a lot of diseases. So if you're concerned about a certain disease, like say Alzheimer's or even autism or stroke or diabetes, just put that into the internet, diabetes and oxidative stress. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's related. There's a correlation between just about every disease and oxidative stress. So if you can combat that at the cellular level, that's really what we love to teach, because that is the most basic. And that comes from eating lots of fruits and vegetables. The second thing that eating lots of fruits and vegetables does, besides detoxifying, I always kind of chuckle a little bit when people say, I'm going to detox this weekend. I'm going to buy a lot of fruits and vegetables. I'm going to detox. Well, yeah, but what about the rest of the days? We have what's called Juice Plus, so we're able to detox daily because it's a daily habit. So we need to detoxify all the time, protect all the time, not just on the weekend. But also your vitamins and your minerals come from fruits and vegetables. And if people are trying to bridge the gap with a multivitamin, they're barely scratching the surface. So like that apple on the right, that is one page of ingredients of 25. So an apple has 10,000 nutrients, where a multivitamin at the most might have like 30. Okay. So people are not even getting to where you might get with, eating an apple. And so you want to eat the whole food as much as possible, because each fruit or vegetable has like 10,000 nutrients called phytonutrients, plant nutrients. So it's better than vitamins. That's what Newsweek said way back when in the 80s. Okay. Can phytochemicals prevent cancer? The truth about antioxidants. So people have been learning that vitamins are not all that they, were stacked up to be, and can be harmful. Okay. Fruits and vegetables are where it's at. And that's why the American Cancer Society poster on the right shows you all the different colors and varieties of fruits and vegetables. That's what we need to do to prevent disease. And this article by Time magazine says the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, it's that they're so good they could save your life. So you want to think of it that way when you're planning, what am I going to eat today and how much of each thing should I eat? You want to start early with your kids, have them juicing, have them doing a graze tray, we call it, where you just get out a muffin tin and put a bunch of fruits and vegetables, maybe some dips, things like that, so that they just freely eat. And so from the very beginning, you want to have them eating fruits and vegetables. Then when you're on the run, it's great to take control of your own food. This girl, she always has her food in a bag. This is an example of what she would bring: a mason jar salad, so that you're not a victim of being out and so hungry that you have to stop somewhere. There's all kinds of things you could put into place, not just a salad in a jar, but this is a fun way to have that prepped for the week. And then just prepping for the week, making sure that you're shopping the perimeter and having things that are already washed and chopped so that it's easy to grab or put into a salad, or the oatmeal that people do, overnight oatmeal, things like that. That's Ariani, who lives right around the block from me. Well, good nutrition will equal good results. A lot of people say, well, what about this disease or disorder? Can it be helped? Absolutely. Can you imagine? What if you were a star athlete? Should you be eating fast food, or should you be eating fruits and vegetables? So same with everybody. Our bodies need the right nutrients, and our bodies know what to do with it. Here's my story. I had bumps like that on my arms. Pretty disgusting. I did not want to wear shirts like this where you could see the backs of my arms. And also it was on the tops of my legs, and no dermatologist could help me, where, they give you some lotion. It's like, oh yeah, that did not work. And then if you bump the bumps or you even scratch them, then all of a sudden it becomes really red and bright. And so anyway, I had major skin problems. And I also was just super unhealthy. You could see that with my first baby, that picture. And I think he's the one walking around right now. He's 24. And I didn't know anything about better health. I was eating junk food, fast food. When I got to the pregnancy book and it said what to expect and then the best odds diet, I was like, I don't even know what these things are that you guys are talking about, whether it was flaxseed or omegas or brown rice, or, it was just not how I grew up. Then the last picture is 8 years later at age 40, when I'd made a lot of different, quote, simple changes. And that's what our company and our community is all about. Starting off having good daily habits and increasing your simple changes, continuing to add a simple change. Well, over time, you start to just have that snowball effect where it's not hard to make those changes and you become healthier. So at age 40, that was my third child, and I was just so much healthier. I hope you could see the difference. I was less inflamed, and that's one thing that is a big culprit in a lot of diseases and disorders is inflammation. And that's why a lot of chiropractors, acupuncturists, they get excited, or even doctors, about some of our studies with Juice Plus, which I'm going to tell you about right now, because you can reduce inflammation with Juice Plus. And that's a really good thing, because that is correlated with a lot of diseases and disorders and pain, things like that. Well, this is my arsenal. I love to play racquetball. I love that I am very active in my 50s and able to play, and healthier now than in my 20s and 30s even. And so what I do is I take 2 of each color of the fruits, vegetables, and berry capsules. That's giving me 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries, the concentrates of those every single day. It's pulverized, the salt, the sugar, and the water is taken out. The fruits, vegetables, and berries are vine ripened, and they don't have pesticides, herbicides, things like that. The other thing I use every single day, and I even had one right before this lunchtime talk, I had a smoothie bowl. I'll either have a smoothie or a smoothie bowl, and it's like something, it's a go-to. It's so easy to go get it or make it, in your busy schedule, but it's also a great pre or post-workout drink that will help fuel you with the right foods. It has fiber, it has what the healthier countries actually eat. And I love that I've taken, the micronutrients of the Juice Plus and the macronutrients of the shake every day. Because what I also know is that I don't have the menopause symptoms that a lot of people do. So when you start infusing your body with good nutrition, your body says, yeah, I don't need to have these other symptoms, And so the healthier countries, they don't have all the diseases and disorders that we do. And I love that our company, the Juice Plus company, has mirrored a lot of what we have to offer off of those healthier countries, especially that shake. The fruits, vegetables, and berry blends, you can see the ingredients here. Sorry, it's a little blurry. I just added that picture. That's what I get for adding it just now. It's a little blurry for you guys. But basically, it's vine ripened fruits, vegetables, berries. In the fruit blend, it's acerola, cherry, orange, apple, peach, lemon peel, pineapple, cranberry, beet, date, mango, and prune. In the vegetable blend, it's beet, spinach, lemon peel, acerola, cherry, cabbage, kale, tomato, parsley, broccoli, rice bran, carrot, garlic. In the berry blend, which just rounds out the rainbow, is blueberry, bilberry, blackcurrant, Concord grape, pomegranate, acerola cherry, elderberry, cranberry, blackberry, cocoa, raspberry, artichoke. And then they just came out with, they said, what do you guys take besides Juice Plus? And many people take omegas, and many people know the value of omegas. So they created, it took them 10 years, a vegan, non-fishy burp omega that you could take daily also. So when you take all 4 of these, we call that the quad. When you take just the first 3, we call that the trio. If you take just the first 2, we call that the duo. So in case I use any of that lingo, but the omega, they went down past the fish, which people usually think is oh so healthy. What makes the fish healthy is them eating the algae. So they went to the algae instead. And that's what mostly makes up our omega, which is a wide array of omegas, even from something called sea buckthorn berry, which is pretty amazing if you read about it. Well, we have all different types of study. Here's the one on skin. I like to use it because a lot of people spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on skin health, right? Or maybe not health, but looking good, right? And a lot of times they don't realize that it comes from what you're eating. If your gut microbiome is good, then your skin is going to be healthier. Like you saw that picture, that's how my skin looked. But once I started to take Juice Plus, it was within probably 6 months to a year that my skin changed. And you know what's great is that your cells are changing over every 4 months, and then your tissues are changing over, and your, over time, your skin, your bones, your muscles, all those things change over. Within a year, they say you have a new body based on what you're eating. Okay. And so anyway, this study with Juice Plus capsules just showed that we have better microcirculation of the skin, better skin density and thickness. And I think there was another thing, better hydration. Okay. So, I mean, just, it goes back to, you give it the right nutrients, the body knows what to do with it. And this is just like a little example of somebody making up a picture of what Juice Plus is. They take the fruits, vegetables, and berries, they blend them and juice them, they remove the water, and then they leave the phytonutrients in capsule form, but also gummies, yummy gummies for kids. And then when I talk about the micronutrients, that would be the fruits, vegetables, berries, in the and also the omega. And that is like for your engine of your car. That's something sometimes we don't think about. We don't really like to change the oil, or at least I don't. And sometimes we burn our engine. Well, that would be the same as if you don't have the right fruits, vegetables, berries, or the micronutrients, you might burn your engine, the body, okay, by then creating disease. The gas in the car, which is our bodies, is the macronutrients. That's what's my next meal. So the Juice Plus Complete is one really good solution for at least one meal a day, when we sometimes have to think of three. So the capsules and the gummies go great together with the shake, because you're getting both the micro and the macro. So these are, just pictures of our daily habits: making a smoothie in the morning or the afternoon, having some gummies for the kids, having some capsules for ourselves, having a bar even that's based on the complete shake on the run, in the car, or at an athletic event. So altogether, if you have the fruits, vegetables, berries, and the complete, it's like over 50 different whole foods that you would have before you even leave the house that day. Pretty amazing. And we use it just in all different things, whether it's healthier muffins, smoothie bowls, or smoothies like this one, peach shake, because it was the time of the year that you have peaches in Georgia, and somebody brought me some. My little girl would come home and she would make a strawberry smoothie. So, we have entire cookbooks that we can hook you up with on that. And the great thing is that kids can have their gummies, that's a picture of the gummies up at the top, for free with an adult purchase. So if you have even a niece or nephew that you want to sponsor, you can, and they can get their Juice Plus for free. And let's see, I'm gonna, these are just some of the differences of Juice Plus versus other products out there, because you might be wondering, well, what makes Juice Plus, so different from other products? There's huge differences. One is that it's a food, so it has a food label, where a lot of times it'll say supplement facts on other products, meaning it's just isolated nutrients, okay? And it's not giving you really like food. It's been researched at major universities and medical centers, like at least 25 of them. There's thousands of doctors recommending Juice Plus. It's safe for pregnant women and children. There's a safety seal, and it's approved for athletes. Even major athletes, Olympians, take Juice Plus because it has the certain seal that they need as NSF Sport. So here's some of what the research has found. This is kind of an old image, but I like it because it just details a little bit more. Basically, it's bioavailable. It gets in the bloodstream right away. Within days, your antioxidant levels are up. And what you want to know is that your oxidative stress is down, and that happens within 28 days. The cardiovascular wellness, we have at least 5 studies on. We have studies supporting immune health. Within 80 days, your immune system is better. Your T cells are up, your natural killer cells are up, things like that. Juice Plus helps protect DNA. They actually looked at strand breakage and found within 3 different studies, different amounts of less strand breakage. I mean, our DNA is predicting what the next cells are. So you want to keep that strand breakage down as much as possible. So when you reduce the oxidative stress, it reduces the damage to your DNA. It all goes hand in hand. So I'm just really thankful. My friend shared this with me 23 years ago. I knew nothing about nutrition and I just kind of followed along, and it's been a great healthy lifestyle for me and the family. And so I'm just super thankful that it's helping me to age slower. I know that. And also it helps with the skin, the gums, it helps reduce that inflammatory response. It's been used on cancer patients and with good results, and also on overweight boys and helping with the metabolism and things like that with overweight boys. There's study after study on Juice Plus. Here's one that's pretty recent. And wouldn't we all want what's at the bottom? Better working memory, better selective attention, better processing speed, and executive function. That's what they found with the recent cognitive study. So pretty amazing. And then I took Karen's on here. It's so funny. I took this from one of her presentations because one of the first signs of heart problems sometimes is instant heart attack or instant death, sorry, from a heart attack. I don't know if you guys have heard that. So it really is something that needs to be addressed, because a lot of people die of heart attacks all the time. And I'm thankful that my husband has become part of this community and has been able to get his health under control over the years. And it's been a struggle. It's been a nagging struggle, begging, it's been praying, all these different things. And it wasn't until he had a really rude awakening recently that we really found out the power of Juice Plus. And he's been on this journey and he's been able to lose weight and keep it off also. But what we've found is that the studies came to life for him. I'll put it back here. Basically, he was walking around with blocked arteries, okay? And I don't know for how long, because what happens with Juice Plus, we found with the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, is the fruits, vegetables, and berries actually keep your blood vessels open, keep your arteries open during a high-fat meal. Usually it's constricted 40 to 60% for 4 to 6 hours. A lot of people are in danger after a high-fat meal. So they did this study at University of Maryland showing that Juice Plus, the fruits and vegetables, helped reduce that artery constriction by 62%. But when you took fruit, vegetable, and berry, there was no more constriction of the arteries. And so I'm so thankful, because, any high-fat meal can trigger that problem. And he was eating plenty of high-fat meals, but I'm thankful that we found that he was blocked. And that Juice Plus protected him for a very long time. So he's on a better path to health at this point. I'm so thankful. And I don't know where we would be without Juice Plus all these years. And I don't know how people are surviving without it. So I want to encourage you guys to look at it for yourselves and others. So here are just some other studies that were done on Juice Plus in regard to heart. It helps to maintain blood pressure, total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and homocysteine levels. Homocysteine levels are a biomarker of any disease. And what they found was Juice Plus lowers homocysteine levels. So I love that one. And then this says supports the normal healthy elasticity of arteries. See, that's what's important in that one study, is you want your arteries to have that elasticity. And if you don't have the right nutrition, you don't have that. That's what that one study showed. And it blunted the effects of a high-fat meal. Okay, we've got a nurse on the line. I see you. Hi, welcome. So just talking about the cardiovascular study. Also, in regard to this community that we're in, and our company, the Juice Plus company, integrated the Tower Garden many years ago, about 12 years ago. And it's something that also encourages us all to make healthy changes and eat more vegetables and herbs and live plants that have no herbicides and pesticides. Great, my dog is here. And this is a recent picture of us. And so he this is typical of him, chopping up some veggies and everything, but we actually had a little photo shoot yesterday for a city. So I wanted to include this. but he is on the path to better health. So what is your plan? That's what you want to ask yourself. What are your daily habits? If it's eating at a fast food place every day, that is not a good plan, right? So you want to think, okay, what am I doing? Am I exercising? Am I moving? Can I include some healthy steps daily? Can I include some fruits and vegetables daily? Can I include enough fruits and vegetables daily? So what is your plan? Can you make health your hobby? I really love that. I think that watching the Netflix documentaries about health, getting yourself psyched up, being in the right community, those are all really important. So how much does an apple a day cost? We've heard apple a day keeps the doctor away. I was so shocked to see the price of these apples. And I think it was about 6 months ago that I looked this up. And so an apple a day, depending on which one you like, the Honeycrisp, $1.83. Wow. The Fuji, $1. So these are the prices then. I'm not sure about this statistic, but I looked it up today. The average price for apples is $4.29. The average price for all countries is $2.77. And that's just really shocking. I mean, we all know that prices are going up, right? And so even an apple, we want to be able to grow our own food. The Tower Garden is very reasonably priced. It won't grow apples, but it will grow other things. So keep that in mind. And then when it comes to juicing, people got into the whole green juice craze or red juice craze, cold pressed juices. They can range from, I doubt if we could find one for $2.99, but I would say it's more on the higher scale of $6.99 to $11 to $12, right? So when you think about all that, Juice Plus is super reasonably priced, and they're able to do the price because there's a lot of volume. Juice Plus is the #1 selling nutritional product in a capsule in the world. Okay. So they're able to keep their prices down. And so for the trio blend, it's $2.50 a day. All right. Or $20 a week. You could think of it that way. And how many groceries could you get for $20, or even $2.50 if you go to the store? So just looking at these different prices, just know that it is the best deal in town. And school-age kids get Juice Plus for free. So let's look at that, because there's also an extra special thing happening in August and September for back to school, that if an adult orders the duo capsules or trio capsules or quad capsules, then they can get the duo gummies for free for a child. Okay. Or I'm sorry, I'm looking at it wrong. Okay. They can also order the duo gummies or the trio gummies. So everything on the left is adult. They can order any of those things and get the free for the child. They get the fruits and vegetables or the duo free. And so that's pretty amazing. And then that's all the time. That's age 4 to now 26, believe it or not. We can sign people up to age 25, and there's no limit to how long you can get your child's portion free. For August and September, right now, any new orders will also get 15 free individual complete packets, which I live off the complete. It is so good for you and it tastes delicious. I get really excited when I see that, because I love when people get addicted to it like me, because it's really super healthy habit. Well, here's my family now, and we are just enjoying good health, and I hope the same for your family. And so I just want to encourage you to level up your health today in some way. And let me just look at the chat and see if you guys have any questions. Does anybody have any questions for me? I see some of your goals: less sugar, lose weight, more veggies, more water. This is great. Better sleep. Okay. And then someone is telling their story about how now they're off all meds. Oh, I love that. Love that. I mean, I have story after story, and that's what really drives me also to help people. Is we have helped thousands of people with better nutrition with these simple changes. Okay. Karen says she drinks 1 to 2 smoothies a day, and also for overnight oats. Yes, yes, yes. The Perform, I didn't mention that too much, but you can ask the person who invited you. Okay, and so wow, this is great, Darlene. I will be 79 on Sunday, and after 27 years on Juice Plus, she's still active and still substitute teaches at the local elementary school. Wonderful. She says she loves this blessing from the Lord. Thank you for sharing all that. And that's all now on the recording. And I love that because my mother and my mother-in-law have both benefited, and they're like 81, 82, and they've had significant results that have really helped them in their lives as well. So no matter the age, we all need to level up, right? So I hope that you'll think of something you could do to level up your health and also share this with others so that they can too. Okay.